What's going on, Bruce?
Welcome to Hottest Cards of the Week, the weekly series where every Friday night we review the hottest modern Pokemon cards of the week. And this week we have a very variety-driven episode. We have cards being pumped, hot cards, all-time high cards. We have playable EXs that are up and cost a little more than usual. Very nice variety to talk about this week. And then other things like Sword and Shield Alt Arts are totally tanking a little bit right now, to say the least.
Game over, man. It's game over.
Before I forget, just want a friendly reminder. I do 3 uploads every single week, and this week we uploaded 10 Pokemon whose cards are getting very expensive, and late last night, in fact at midnight, are Pokemon cards too big to fail? Please go ahead and check those videos out for me. If your name is Alex White, congratulations. You won the Lechonka Mania giveaway. Go ahead and hit me up to claim your prize. And Delibird illustration rare, Journey Together fun back, and the first ever Psyduck Derpy is what I will be giving away in tonight's video. Hashtag Duckbird if you would like to potentially win that prize, and you must be a subscriber. Alright, let's get Alright, here we go, and right off the bat, I'm gonna pump Opossum Bud's newest video, because he made an entire video about this Kabuto first edition fossil pump, so I'm gonna throw Opossum Bud on the screen. I don't really have too much interest in glorifying ridiculous, out of the ordinary pumps. Just know there's an entire Opossum Bud video talking about this newest Kabuto first edition fossil pump, where it went from $5 up to $40, okay? The Unlimited's $250, that's normal. The first edition is $40, has to do with the Kabuto collector. It's almost a meme at this point, but there you go. And before I continue any farther, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot let me forget to pump my VaultX Brew promo code with VaultX binders and vaultx.com. Mainly because we have literally already sold thousands of dollars worth of binders using my discount code and sent off, well, not hundreds of Derpy Qs, but I've sent off a lot. Okay, you use that discount code VaultXBrew to get 10% off your VaultX binder. You absolutely will get a Derpy Q between now and the end of the year. And more importantly, ladies and gentlemen, I really want to push this affiliate, and I want to start asking more from them in the future, because a lot of my content next year will revolve around master setting, and I will need VaultX binders, and I will need you guys to have an even better discount code. So please, VaultXBrew at vaultx.com. Alright, that's it. Let us continue. And I have everything kind of grouped in categories a little bit. So this is now we're in the pump category. We had Kabuto. Now Gengar. This is the Trick or Trade Gengar from 2024. You might remember this getting pumped up quite a bit not too long ago. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this was a 78-cent card that found its way in September up to $5, and we were all like, haha, so silly, so gross, so goofy. There's like almost one in every pack, right? And then it went all the way back down to $1.90, and then that wasn't enough. So the Trick or Trade Gengar is now at an all-time high, because $5 or whatever in September wasn't enough. It is now up even higher to a more ridiculous $6.80. And in case you're confused, no Trick or Trade bundle card ever should be worth more than $1. They're just not rare. There's a bazillion of them, literally. That is why this is a pump, and that is why this is goofy times 2. Okay, moving along. So Trick or Trade Gengar and Kabuto first edition. Okay, now we are going to get into some playable EXs that just kind of popped up a little bit, so you can get some schmeckles off your playable EXs. First of all, Zoroark from Why Won't You Take a Journey Together With Me right here is essentially at an all-time high. Let's take a look. Yeah, let's go to the 1 year. Okay, well, we're not going to count that. Ever since release, going down to under $2, it is at an all-time high. It is currently right now at $4.33. Petulant EX from Shredded Fumble. This is a 90-day chart, so you can see right here it was just under $1, and it just shot up to $5 and something cents, and is currently sitting at $4.97. And last but not least, Goldango. This one has a long history of being playable. Well, it went all the way down to $6, and now it's back up to $8.68. So just FYI, not that one. Zoroark, Petulant, and Goldango are up. EXs, get some schmeckles for them if you got them in your bulk, and you just, in case you didn't know. Okay, moving along. Oh, and also on that note, Neo Upper Energy A-Spec. These are also cards you probably don't really collect. You just want to get schmeckles for. It had been high in the past. It hit a low of 8, and I guess it's useful again, because now it's up to $13.72, and that is from Temporal Forces Neo Upper Energy A-Spec. Okay, now we're going to get into the hot cards. Fuecoco from Perler. So basically, in February, it hit a high of 30, 31 bucks. This is the closest it's got since then. This is a 1 month chart right here. It is up 16%. 2 weeks ago it was 24 bucks and it was already doing good at 24 bucks. And now it just shot up to right at its all-time high, which is around $30, $29.53. For Coco from Perler Evolved. Okay, guess what? Perler Evolved times 2, Tinkatoni XSIR. This right here is also at an all-time high. That is a 1 year chart, so you can see right here, all-time high, and please believe it was never even close to this before a year ago. So, Tinkatoni XSIR, all-time high. Very good, Blasty Boy from 151. Let's go straight to the 1 year. So on the 1 year, his all-time high was recent. It was $95. He recently hit a low of 73, and he's now all the way back up to $82. So on the week, he's actually very, very hot for the week specifically. Mega Sharpedo, speaking of hot cards on the week, here we go. Mega Sharpedo came out from Phantasmal Flames, and it tanked hard, of course. It's not Charizard. Hit a low of $36, but now it's sitting at 50 even. So it's up 14, 15 bucks since release. Okay. Rayquaza V, been talking about this, one of the few Sword and Shield Alt Arts actually doing good. So it's at a new all-time high at $317.43. That is Rayquaza V, the Alt Art from Evolving Skies. Moving along to Special Delivery Bidoof. Yes, Special Delivery Bidoof is at $376. That's a big-time all-time high. This card was always very expensive for a Sword and Shield promo, even in the dead times, like, you know, a couple years ago. But here we go, because you can see it was already $250 on the 1 year chart. Again, that puts it way above Van Gogh Pikachu at this time last year. That puts it above Bubble Mew. That puts it above frickin' everything except for Greninja, basically, at this time last year. And here we go, $376, all-time high, Special Delivery Bidoof. That is a Sword and Shield promo. Boss's Orders, the Cyrus Edition from the premium milk carton collection thingy-majigger. I brought it up last week. Well, it's a little higher now. Now it's almost $10. $9.23. Maybe if you don't care about this, trading these. If you got these, that is almost $10, almost double digits. For Cyrus Sword and Shield promo. Moving along, now we're getting into the bounce. Is it a dead cat bounce, or is it just a bounce? Let's find out. Bunch of cards that tanked recently because of the, you know, oh my god. And now we got some bounces. Okay, so here we go. First of all, Pink Mew. UPC 151 hit the recent low of 45 bucks. Now it's up to $52. Moving along. Misty Psyduck hit the recent low of $46, and now it's up to $53, almost $54. Lily's Determination from Mega Evolution base set hit the low of $20, and now it hit a high of almost $25. It's sitting at $24.50. Charizard V-Star 262 hit the recent low of 45, and now it's sitting up at 50 even, so up $5, little bounce. Charmander IR from 151 hit the low of 50, and now it's up to 50, almost $7. Little bounce. Bounce. Charizard Trainer Gallery from the LO hit the low of about 14 bucks. Now it's up to basically $20 again. 1946. Little bounce. Oh my god. Okay, now we're in the that was the bounces. All-time highs. Here we go. Mid-modern always killing it. Megalopony and Jigglypuff is at an all-time high. $228 all-time high with a 1 year low of 80 bucks, 90 bucks. ADP GX Tag Team from Cosmic. Let's go to the 1 year. My bad. 1 year low of 183. It is now sitting at 453. That is an all-time high. Mega Sableye and T-Tar GX from the unified ones. This I brought up last week. I got to bring it up again. Went up a little more. It is now at $325.78. Primal Kyogre EX from the Origins that are Oso agents is now almost $300, $290.32 right here. Primal Kyogre EX, just for clarification, that's card number 96 because there's a couple that look like this. And last but not least, Cynthia and Kaylin, tag team waifus, yeah, from the Eclipse, is now over $200. That is an all-time high. It's probably way more expensive in Japanese, but for English, $200. Very good, all-time high, up 50% on the year. All right, there it is. Now we'll do what we usually do, all the speed runs. Let's get to it.
Are you and your friend looking for an absolute oasis to sell your Pokemon slabs? Look no further than
Arizona TCG. That's right.
you're gonna be okay, little buddy. With complete control and transparency, Arizona TCG lets you choose how you want to sell your valuable slabs. And you can even adjust the price of Buy It Now listings in real time. Arizona TCG is a multifunctional website that allows you to track your collection and or sell your slabs for
Top dollar.
Use code BREW now through the end of the year to receive 50% off your first consignment fees. Arizona TCG.
Once again, huge shout out to Arizona TCG. Ladies and gentlemen, a couple months ago or whatever, I hit 10k subs, finally let myself do the sponsors and affiliates and all that. There are certain companies out there that I've been shutting down for a long time. Like PokeNotify, well over a year ago, I shut them down. Whatnot, years, literally 3 straight years I've been shutting them down. The reason I'm saying that is Arizona TCG is a company, a service, a people that I absolutely believe in. I could say all this stuff about Arizona TCG, but in all honesty, all that matters when it comes to Arizona TCG and consignment is you will get the absolutely most amount of money for your slab if you use Arizona TCG and use that code BREW to receive 50% off your consignment through the end of the year. And again, seriously, thank you guys. That is a service that I absolutely believe in, and that is the only reason I'm letting them give me money. All right, let's continue to Crown Zenith. Right here, the Galarian Gallery. Okay, so Crown Zenith, Giratina 190 is our chase card. Is that really that bad when it's high as like 230? I don't think so. Mewtwo V-Star down to 160. Don't be surprised Mewtwo goes down to 130, 140, 150 at a previous high of 150. Arceus is high, it's only 10 bucks. Arceus is still doing great, 115 from a high of 125. These other guys, all holding great value. When it comes to subsets and things tanking, Trainer Gallery's doing good. We're going to look at, it's mainly those really high-end Alt Arts from Sword and Shield that have taken a lot off. The Crown Zenith Galarian Gallery is holding a lot of value, doing really good. Certain things like Simisear V-Star that recently hit a high of 30 is back down to 24. But all in all, you know, still get 28 bucks for your Secret Rare Pikachu. Mew's basically right around 30. Both the Deoxyses are doing better than ever, it feels like. Crown Zenith is doing fine, nothing popping off, nothing tanking. Moving on to the Trainer Galleries. And this is what I'm talking about. The Trainer Galleries are holding all their top-end value. They never got pumped to ridiculous amounts like the Alt Arts did. Like the Umbreon V going to $700 when it's historically a $90 to $150 card is crazy. None of that craziness happened with the Trainer Galleries, so we're not seeing massive bleed downs. The only one was Gengar. Gengar shot all the way up to 60, and now he's back down to a exceptionally respectable $30. But here we go. So we go back up to the top. Rayquaza's 25 bucks off its all-time high. Starmie's 25 bucks off its all-time high, whereas Pikachu, Umbreon right here doing amazing. Pikachu V, Mimikyu doing amazing. You come down here, the Mimikyu VMAX is holding almost $47. Sylveon V is holding almost $47. Umbreon V, very good prices for these cards, especially when so much is tanking and is cooling off. And we are still at $13 in the bottom right-hand corner. So all in all, the Sword and Shield Trainer Galleries are proving to be very resilient when it comes to holding their value this year. Okay, here we are at the Alt Arts. With the VMAXs, it's not so much a bloodbath. It's mainly a little bit of a bloodbath with the Vs, because those are the ones that really got manipulated upwards. But we go here, we got, you know, Moonbreon 2022, 200 bucks off its high. There it is, Jesus. Gengar's 60 bucks off its high and bleeding, but Gengar had been doing great. Rayquaza's doing fine. Sylveon's 50 bucks off its high. Blaziken's 20 bucks off its high, very close. Espeon's like 40 bucks off its high, same with Glaceon. Mew is dropped down 40 bucks because Mew VMAX right here hit a high of 250. It's down to 211. All these last 5 here literally never move. It's unfortunate for them. Let's go right here to the Vs. Okay, so the Vs here. Umbreon V hit a high of $700, and that's why you just do not buy into hype. Are you kidding me? It's down to $430, which is still an insane amount of money. Dragonite V, which hit almost $500, $480 is down to $400. Lugia V is slipping down after a high of $400. Rayquaza is doing amazing, like I said. Let's look at Charizard V, because Charizard V not so amazing, okay? We're going to look at that right here and now. So, there it is. There's a Charizard V from Brilliant Stars chart for you. Pretty, you know, undervalued. People always be talking about it. Finally cracks 200, and then no, it goes back down. And then we get absolute ridiculousness all the way up to $400, and now we're sitting 150 off at $255 for Brilliant Stars Charizard V. So that's what I'm talking about. Big ups and big downs for the Alt Art Vs. We have T-Tar, which hit basically $300 all the way down to $210. Aerodactyl V hit a high of, well, Aerodactyl V is doing fine. It hit a high of $190. Espeon V is doing great. Cupcakes, 20 bucks off. Mew right here down to 90, under 100, you know, so that's almost $50 off its high right here, Mew V. Down here, the cards that are always, there will always be YouTube videos made years and years into the future about how undervalued these cards are and how undervalued the cards on the next page are. So many. Oh, look at these. We never look at these. So we're still up to 50 right here. Let's just take a look. What's Regidrago V at from Silver Tempest? A $20 bill. Hisuian Lilligant is amazing. Let's be honest. We're just going to take a little time right here. I love Shadow Rider Calyrex. I love Hisuian Lilligant V. I absolutely love the Luminion from Brilliant Stars. I got like 5 skunk tanks because it's only $8. Urshifu's never getting any love. Unknown, $20 Silver Tempest. Golurk, so cheap for an Evolving Skies. Alt Art, oh my god. Everybody loves Genesect, but it's still under $30. I think the Blissey from Chili Willy is amazing. Okay, let's move on. Alright, promos. A whole bunch of promos. We're going to start with, right here is Mega Evolution and Scarlet and Violet mixed together, and then we're going to mix together Sun and Moon, X and Y, blah, 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 blah. So, first of all, Mega Charizard from the Mega Phantasmal UPC Charizard thingies down to $46. And in fact, it hit $35. I don't know what was going on yesterday. This thing was $35 yesterday. Oricoreo's been way more stable. It came out at 20. It's only down to 17. Van Gogh Pikachu sitting right where it was last week, all month long, $650. Regular Charizard Obsidian Flames ETB, $35. Mewtwo sitting right under 30. Kingdra is still just now $5 over Greninja as far as Shredded Fumble goes. New Espeon Full Art's $13. The Umbreon new Full Art is down a few bucks, down to $26 from around 30. Saiai right there, $7. Mimikyu ETB promo, $850. Fruit Play Eevee has been very stable, just under 30 for a whole month now. I've just been keeping my eye out for one of these. I just want to get one perfect one, and man, the Terrestrial borders are so hard to find at card shops without the whitening or the glistening on them. There you go, Alakazam Mega Evolution, $6. Let's go to the Pokemon Center ETBs. Okay, so $230 for Snorlax, $20 off its high. Charmander though, right where it was last week. Pikachu more or less right where it was last week. Wobbuffet continues to bleed, down to almost $100. Looks like Miraidon might even be worth more than Wobbuffet coming up here shortly. However, I wouldn't be surprised if the Wobbuffet bounces back upwards. Things, Destin Rivals, Booster Box going back up, things, I don't know. $80 for Prismatic, for the Prismatic Eevee. However, the Mimikyu from Pelean Fates is down to $50 right here. That hit a high of 90 recently. Charcadet from Mega Evolution base set, I want this one. Under $40, I like that one a lot. Lechonky Boy right there, $16. Look at this, Buy Our Stuff T-Tar is all the way down to $30 all of a sudden, and it was sitting at $48 forever. Alright, Sword and Shield promos, 50, 35, and 28, and they are all three the best-selling Sword and Shield promos, the Charizard UPCs, there you go. Crown Zenith Lucario, $7, Greninja, $13, Celebrations Mimikyu, $10, Celebrations Galarian Moltres, $10, Lance Charizard, $5, Arceus V, $20, Dark Sylveon, $6. Anything sticking out? Special Delivery Charizard, $130 right there. And I'm just going to move on because nothing's really sticking out too much. Let's go over to... So, the X and Y and the Sun and Moon promos are popping off. So, Galarian... No, they're not. Galarian, what am I talking about? The Stained Glass Birds, $93. They ain't Galarian. Blastoise EX at $212 is literally right at its all-time high right here from X and Y. Gengar at $287 right here. This is essentially its all-time high. Mewtwo and Mew GX literally hit $300, and now it's all the way back down to $230. So if that $300 Mewtwo and Mew GX promo right here scared you, guess what? You got another chance. It's $230. Pikachu EX XY124 is $12 off its all-time high. Armored Mewtwo is literally at its all-time high right here and now, right there. The Venusaur looks like it's pretty much right at its all-time high from X and Y right there. Yummy Yummy Eevee and Snorlax, that's not an all-time high. 92 bucks for the derpiest Eevee, that is also not an all-time high. However, Mew XY 110, I'm going to look at this. This could be close. Could be close. No, it's not. Okay. I thought maybe. I mean, it's right at its all-time high, basically. 120 bucks right here for his cute little Mew XY promo 110. Alright, let's do Scarlet and Violet speedrun. Alrighty, SV speedrun and Mega Evolution. Here we go. Gardevoir right where it always is. Ralts is on discount at only $27. Riolu's still 23 bucks. Miraidon's back down to $22. Slowpoke sitting strong at 22. Fido's up to almost $14. Greaver's back down under 20 at $19.92. Everything else looks typical. Moving along to Paldear. Alright, Magikarp right where it was last week at $2.50. Maushold up $1, hit high at 65, and then it went down to 50. Now it's up to 52. I don't know, up $1 from last week. Tinkatongue at an all-time high. Chi-Yu, $1 off its all-time high. Fuecoca right around its all-time high. Sprigatito and Marill, both these two right here, trending upwards. Miss Mage is holding a strong-ass $22. Heracross finally joined the $20 club again for the first time since February. Tinkatuff wants to join as well, $19.70. Do I see anything else? Nope. Baxcalibur is bleeding back down towards 15. Moving along. Obsidian Lames. Okay. Gloom, $11. Cleffa, $20. Ninetales, $21. That's all exceptionally familiar. No more Arven. Charizard, $1 less than it was last week. Moving along. Alright, 151. It was the Blastoise show this week. Blastoise trending upward. Very good. $82. Back in his rightful spot is number 2. Although I like the Venusaur more. Charmander, like I said, doing great. Psyduck, I made an entire video about him right here at $30, almost $2. Now there's a $5 difference between Psyduck and Pikachu. When I made that video, there was only a $2 difference. But there you go. Psyduck IR more than Dragonair IR or Wartortle. Wow. Okay, moving along. Alright, moving on, actually. To the Rift. Paradox, where Groudon is 75 bucks. Roaring Moon is cheaper than ever. Altaria, 40 bucks, okay. The Plusle and Minum show goes strong. Morpeko is now under $30 after hitting a very big high, like almost 50. We go down here. Yveltal at 15 bucks. Is that good for Yveltal? Is $15 good for Yveltal? I don't know. Kind of feels like it. Loudred to... Okay, let's just move on to the Fates of Paldear, where Bubble Mew is all the way down to $520 after a high of like 700 bucks. Gardevoir's high was 150 and it's down to 117. Zardy Boy's high is about what? Let's look at Charizard. What, 325? Was it 325? Am I right or am I wrong? Whoa. Let's see here. 313. Okay. 313, so 60 bucks off its high for Break the Ice Zardy Boy. And we have Snorlax at 23 bucks. Very good. Ditto's still over 20. Mimikyu's back down to about 17 or 18. Tandemaus at 12. Maushold at 11. Lucario 15. Charmeleon should probably be doing better. Moving along to the Forces of Temporal. Gengar Full Art right where it was last week. Ghastly right where it was last week. $55 illustration rare. Sawbuck right at 30 bucks. Deerling right at 25 bucks. Metagross building support over $20. Finally, holy crap. Metagross is $21. I love that freaking illustration rare. You know what else I love is the Litten illustration rare right here at $17.35. Neo Upper Energy, is that the one I brought up earlier? 13 bucks. There it is. Drampa, $13.30, looking good, I guess. Same with Arbok, I guess. Alright, moving along to the Gatorade that is Twilighted. Okay, so $3.17 for Greninja. Perrin always around 92 nowadays. Eevee at 60. Carmine, cheaper than ever, under $60 if you like Carmine. Chansey back under 30 after hitting that real high of like 38, 40 bucks. Tatsuguri is hitting 20 again for the millionth time. Hisuian, Growlithe right where it always is at 15 bucks. Pinsir and Infernape. Nope. Okay, moving along to the Fumble. That is Shredded Fumble. Where we have... Okay, hold on. Something looks different here. Between the Earthen Vessel and the bait, something changed. I don't know. But the Kitty Cat is 40 bucks. A little less than last week. Same with Houndoom. Little less than last week. 34 bucks. So they're both down $1 or $2. Monkey Dory under. Yeah, Monkey Dory's always at 28 bucks. Horsey, I always love to see Horsey sitting over 20 bucks. I think it's a fantastic IR. I don't know why it's in Shrouded Fable, but whatever, it's fine. Okay? Well, because of the Kingdra, but then again, why is the Kingdra? The Kingdra's not even in the set anyway. Okay? Cresselia at 19 bucks seems really good for Cresselia right here. Beware is stacking over 15. So Beware is kind of building support as a $15 plus illustration rare now. Moving along. Stellar Not So Frown, 70 bucks and 55 bucks. You know, not too much else to talk about down here. Yikers, this looks like a Sword and Shield set to me. Just a lack of stuff going on as you get down low. Sorry, but yeah, let's just move on to Splurging Sparks. Okay, Backshot Pikachu under $300 for the second time ever, so if you still need Backshot Pikachu, like, yeah boy, here's your chance again to get Backshot Pikachu under $300. Okay, other than that, I noticed Alolan Executor is under $30. Maybe get that. Hydreigon's been under 40 for a couple weeks now. Okay, probably just going to move along. Archaludon is literally $12. Yikers. That's an SIR, ladies and gentlemen. This is not even a small set. Yikers. Alright, Prismatic Evolutions. What did I buy today? The Eevee? Yes. Okay, yes. I bought the Eevee, and I only spent $100 for the Eevee SIR today. That means all I need left is the top 3 and Roaring Moon, right? Oh, and Glaceon. Okay, so I need a lot. Yeah. But I've been buying... I bought a lot of these lately. I bought almost everything on your screen here, except for those super expensive ones. Alright, sorry. Let's see. I still think Roaring Moon is at a huge discount at $175. I think Espeon right there at $200. You gotta buy it if you need it. Same with Glaceon. Glaceon and Espeon, if you can get them under 200, I'd probably pull the trigger. And yeah, other than that, I just noticed not too much is moving. It's kind of stabling out, right? I feel like now is a good time to start buying these Prismatic SIRs. Hence why I'm doing it. Journey Together. Okay, 140 for Lily's Clefairy, solid. And Zoroark was the one that is absolutely uptrending, hit a low of $52, and Zoroark is now back up to $65. Okay, very good. Articuno 16 bucks, whereas Wailord is almost cheaper than ever at $10. I don't think I've ever seen Wailord hit $10 ever, let alone $9, $10. So Wailord might be cheaper than ever. So it looks like 9 months later, I lost that argument where I was like, hey, does anyone else think Wailord might be more than Articuno? I've apparently lost. That's a pretty big gap. It's been enough time. I think Articuno is the clear winner over Wailord. Okay, let's go to the Destin one. Everything's on discount. Everything's on sale. Big time sale. $458, $240. These are big discounts. Ethan's O had a high of $240. It's $180. You know, $180 for Team Rocket's Moltres. It's $120. Team Rocket's Nidoking, $130. There it is at $100. Team Rocket's Crobat hit like a high of $110. $78. You know, just saying. Some of the golds are starting to bleed as well. You like the Geo, like the Team Rocket's Mewtwo is almost 70, 80 bucks. Ethan's Adventure's down. A lot of these are becoming more affordable for sure. Misty's Lapras under 30. Ethan's Typhlosion under 30. Very good for them. Very, very good. If you're trying to master set the set, now is probably a really good time to start. Black Bolt. Okay, there was one card that tanked pretty hard, and that was Genesect, and that's about it. Everything else is actually holding pretty decent value, just being honest, okay? Genesect was at 70, and now it's down to 50. Pretty much everything else across the board, including all the expensive IRs, are still kind of expensive. Okay, so basically the story on this one is Genesect tanked, everything else is holding good value. White Flare. Did anything tank in White Flare? Not so much. Doesn't look like it. No, it doesn't look like it. In fact, the Whimsicott went up. I should have had this in the beginning of the video, ladies and gentlemen. Whimsicott EX was 20 bucks last week. It is $34. Go ahead and take a look at this. I totally screwed this up. I should have absolutely put this in the beginning of the video. Wow. I screwed up. There you go. 21 up to $34. Ladies and gentlemen, Whimsicott is the hottest card of the week. I totally forgot to put it in the beginning of the video. I just repeat myself one more time. Alright, now I'm just going to go to Mega Evolution. Okay, so Mega Evolution, oh my god, it's a bloodbath with the golds. So Mega Gardevoir is down to 300, Mega Lucario is down to 400. However, Mega Gardevoir is bouncing off 200 and holding 200 right here. Mega Gardevoir, I love this freaking card. Mega Latias, I think Mega Latias will hold 100. And I maybe think Mega Venusaur will hold 150. I'm not sure, but these are very good looking SIRs. I'm just saying, whether you're burnt out, these are 4 solid looking SIRs. All 4 of these are better than most what Phantasmal Flames has to offer. Can we, well, yeah. Marshadow down to under 1750. Steelix is 750 now. And that Lucario at 15 bucks, full art, so good looking. Alright, Phantasmal Farts. We got Charizard at 600. Mega Charizard the gold at 450, so just like last week. Mega Sharpedo was the one that really shot up. And to be honest, Meowth and Piplup. Meowth and Piplup, and yeah. The Mega Sharpedo is a very cool looking SIR, and Meowth and Piplup are very awesome IRs. So there's like 3 cards that I absolutely love from the set. I do like Dawn, and yeah, the Charizard's fine, but that's all. It almost feels like Stellar Crown to me if you took I mean, Jesus, you take the Meowth out and the Piplup out, there's not a lot to talk about here. Straight up. I know it's Charizard set. Okay, we're done. Hey, you make it to the end of the video? Good for you. Are you going to like Front Row Card Show or any kind of card show this weekend? If I were you, I would push those. I would be really pushy with trying to get those deals. Literally right now, a lot of people are on the fence. They don't know what the hell's going on. So now is absolutely your time to try to get deals at card shows, maybe even card shops. I'm just saying, work it. Just absolutely work it. And I'm going to pump one more thing, my $1.99 flat rate 1-tier channel memberships, because ladies and gentlemen, I was thinking about it. Yes, I will respond to your comments sooner if I see the little channel member square. But at the same time, I buy a lot of shipping labels. We have Poke Positivity September, which is giveaways all month long, and we do tons of giveaways. I just realized with how expensive things are shipping, I probably should try to pump my channel memberships to pay for all these dang shipping labels. So if you want to help me, MimikBrew, pay for my shipping labels, I'm just saying, channel membership, $1.99. Alright guys, have a great weekend. I will see you guys on Tuesday or Wednesday.
MimikBrew, you'll never fall. Handsome shine, strength so tall. The Pokemon King who answers the call.